To be born in a different culture, to be born in the same country as the world's fastest man, is the fourth largest island country in the whole Caribbean. Now you should know what country I'm talking about. No, it's not Madagascar. Of course, it is Jamaica, where the world's fastest man, Usain Bolt, is born. So I'm gonna compare how my life would be here in Sweden to how my life would be if I was born in a whole different world down there in the Caribbean. So I'm gonna assume that I'm born in the capital of Jamaica, Kingston, because I'm born here in the capital of Sweden, Stockholm, and I've lived there for about 1 year before I moved out here to Danderyd, or as I call it in Swedish, Danderyd. And here I spent my whole life from when I was 1 year old to where I'm at now, 17. But I'm not gonna explain how my life would be from the beginning as if I was born. But I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna say that I'm 17 years old now. I'm 17 years old down there in Jamaica. So I'm gonna assume that. So my life then, how would it be? Yeah, probably I should, I'm assuming that I got a little bit of money instead because I'm living in Kingston. So I should have a decent apartment with running water, electricity, etc. all that I have here. Because here I have everything I need for surviving. But the thing is, down there in Jamaica, I just read this on a couple sites from people moving to Jamaica. Moving there, and they say everything there is slow paced. You have to wait a much longer time for things to get fracted outside the country inside, or just waiting for a phone, like ordering a phone from the website from the local store down there. It could take months, it could take years to get a phone. So everything is much slow paced down there. But also the electricity is expensive down there. So I read that someone couldn't use the dishwasher because of how expensive the electricity were. But I'm gonna assume that I can probably run my life like normal and don't live like a poor man. But of course, this is just the Kingston, this capital of Jamaica. But I read that around at the countryside, at landscapes, the poor people are living without food, without supplies, without everything that I already got here. I can't say that my life would be as much of a difference here, but I would say that it's downgrading my life here to be born in Jamaica. What would I really do as a 70-year-old boy in Jamaica? So from an educational perspective, I would go to Camden College, a college where you put God over people. The religious part are so important in that school, and I think that's because of how religious the country has Christian as their main religion in the country, and they believe much in God. But they have the school system of America, of course. So you start at the school as we call kindergarten here in Sweden, or dagis in Swedish. Then after that you go to prep school. Prep school is like the age of 11 to 13. Where you go to prep school is like you're prepping up for the gymnasium or high school as they call it. Because then you go to high school. And high school is divided into two parts. It's like if the junior high school is the 7th grade to the 9th grade, and after that you upgrade to senior high, and in senior high you get there, that's where you study to get your diploma for your education, to even search college next year or to search a university. To get a job in Jamaica you need an education, and education is much important. So my parents would need education to even get a job, and if I don't have an education I wouldn't be able to get a job. That's a big difference from here in Sweden, because here in Sweden they use us to get the perspective of how our life would be after the education. And that's kind of the negative part about Jamaica, because they don't see that. They don't see that the youth can really need a work to get a perspective of how the adult life would be. Do you remember that I talk about Usain Bolt? He's like the world's fastest man on the earth. And he's doing the most famous sport in Jamaica, athletic. So maybe if at my free time I would do that instead of working. Of course I need to focus on my education, because that's like my future. My education is my future down there. in Jamaica they don't have that much of options to. They do have soccer, which soccer is like a big sport around the world, but they do it of kind of national theme. They don't go worldwide, or they don't take players from outside into their country. It's like more of a Jamaican style. They do like then it's only Jamaica which plays, and they do play rugby. They play basketball, cricket, but those sports are only for girls, as they say. So as a girl, I would do basketball. But here in Sweden, we do have hockey. I played hockey for a long time. That's for sure. But I played American football. I play soccer. So, of doing a sport in Sweden is much bigger than it is in Jamaica, because of how many different sports we take in from another country.